Well, thank you to Sheriff for letting me come over and spend a few minutes with you. I'm doing some practice presentations with this new company I'm working with, Harvard Risk Management Corporation. Harvard Risk Management Corporation is the largest broker of legal and identity theft plans in the U.S. And I'm new, as I mentioned, and they've asked me to do at least 5 practice presentations this week. So thanks for volunteering to let me do a presentation with you. And I've got this little flip chart to help me kind of guide me along as I do the presentation. Do you mind if I point and read?
No, that'd be great.
Okay. Harvard Risk Management has been in business for over 20 years, and they work hard to find real solutions to real problems facing individuals and families. And one of the big problems that we face today is identity theft. Have you heard much about identity theft lately?
Of course.
I mean, it's everywhere. Some of the largest data breaches occurred last year with Yahoo and the IRS, and especially this time of year, people are getting their tax returns. I mean, it's on the news all the time. Identity theft, identity theft. Every day, there are over 40,000 victims of identity theft. So this is a big, big problem. It's one of the fastest growing crimes in America. The average victim spends hundreds of hours in the process of restoring their identity. And I know you have your teenage daughter. Over 3.5 million children have already fallen victim to identity theft in the United States. It takes about 60 seconds to find out you're a victim of identity theft. But it takes about 600 hours to restore and clean the mess up. And we find most solutions out in the marketplace, and I'm sure you've heard of companies that offer identity theft protection like LifeLock and Identity Guard. There's several of them. I get notices all the time from my bank of services that they'll add for a fee. Most of those services only protect this part, and they notify you of the problem. Very few of them do protect you from the 600 hours of cleaning up your identity. The product I'm going to talk to you today about does this. It covers the restoration of your identity, not just the notification. There's 6 major types of identity theft. Credit identity theft, I know that's what I thought identity theft was when I first heard about it. It was all to do with your credit and credit score and credit cards. And it is a major part of it, but there's other parts. Driver's license fraud, where someone gets a driver's license with it's your driver's license, but it's got their picture on it. And we always say, what can you do with that? Well, really, what can't you do with that? You can go buy a house, buy a car, open a checking account. Then you can start, what do you need to cash a check? A driver's license. So they can cause a lot of damage very quickly in this area. Social Security, where someone maybe goes and gets a job using your Social Security number. That can cause problems with the IRS and the Social Security Administration. It can even mess up your Social Security benefits. Medical identity theft, where someone goes and gets medical services using your identity. Criminal identity theft. This is scary. Think about that person that gets pulled over and they're getting a DUI, but they have your driver's license. It's got their picture, but it's your name, your address, your driver's license number. They present that to the officer. So a month later, when you're due in court, you didn't even know you had a DUI, but all of a sudden you've got an issue there, and you've got a warrant issued for your arrest. So it can turn into a criminal situation very quickly, or those checks that they're out there cashing. It's got your name on the check and your information. But it's them cashing them, and the account might not even exist. So the criminal issues can exist. Minor child identity theft, as I mentioned, is another big problem. Only 17% of identity theft deals with credit cards, and yet most solutions available in the market only provide protection and monitoring of your credit cards. So sometimes you'll get an identity theft plan through your bank, and it only covers that one bank or that one credit card. And the ID Shield product that our company offers is the most robust and most powerful identity theft plan I've seen. It provides these services: credit analysis, so they give you a credit report with your score and everything like that. They provide identity consultation services. If you're a victim of identity theft, you can contact them. They've got specialists that will help you. They email notify you of any kind of credit changes. If someone opens a new account, identity theft's like cancer. You want to catch it when it first starts, not find out about it 2.5 years later. So they're going to immediately notify you of any changes on your credit report. Quarterly credit score tracker. You can actually use the app. They have the ID Shield app right here, and you just click that and it pulls up your score. And I love it because I don't have to keep track of my member number or anything. It's all part of the app. So that you can check your score here, and any alerts will show up on the app as well as an email. You have a 24-hour day, 7-day a week, 365 days a year emergency access. So if you're find out in the middle of the night you're a victim of identity theft, you can call them if it's an emergency type situation. Identity restoration by licensed private investigators. That's one thing that I liked, is that it's not just a teenager trying to restore my identity, but it's licensed private investigators that are doing the restoration. If you're a victim of a data breach, someone loses your data, maybe an employer or the IRS or email provider, whatever, they'll notify you of that. Address change verification, payday loan monitoring. They just added social media monitoring. So that this will monitor people maybe creating a new Facebook account for you, acting as you, anything like that. Minor child identity theft protection as well. And the ID Shield is the only company that offers a $5 million service guarantee. So they provide a $5 million guarantee that they'll get your identity restored back to its original state. So I knew you would be interested in that because you do online transactions and stuff like that. And the minute I saw this, I said, hey, I need that plan. I noticed you have smoke alarms in your house. Having a smoke alarm is important because what does it do?
Well, it alerts you of a fire.
Yeah, it notifies you if you have a fire or smoke in the house, and it's good to have a smoke alarm. And there's a lot of smoke alarm identity theft plans. They alert you and notify that you're a victim. But does a smoke alarm put the fire out?
No.
No. What do you need to put the fire out?
The fire department.
The fire department or a fire extinguisher.
Right.
Does the fire or does the smoke alarm rebuild the damage that was caused by the fire?
No.
No. So we are not a smoke alarm product. This ID Shield is not a smoke alarm product. It's better to have a fire department that you can put out the fire and a construction company that can rebuild any damage to your home. The ID Shield provides daily monitoring and complete restoration of your identity. So that's why I liked it. It's offered by Kroll, which is a company that specializes in identity theft protection. So that's the identity theft plan. Another major problem, again, our company helps solve provide solutions for problems. Another major problem facing Americans today is the high cost of legal access or legal fees. Have you ever used an attorney for any reason?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever been treated unfairly? Have you tried to return a defective product? Have you ever received a traffic ticket?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been audited by the IRS? Sometimes I'll get a letter from the IRS. It's not an audit, but I think it is. So they sometimes scare me. Have you ever been overcharged for a repair or anything like that? Lost a security deposit? Signed a contract? Have you ever signed any?
Yes.
I know you bought your home, purchased a home, prepared a will. Do you currently have a last will and testament?
Not as of yet.
Okay, one of the first things you'll want to do with the plan is get your will done. They'll do that at no additional cost. Would you agree that the rich have better access to the legal system than the poor?
Yes.
Yeah, they can, they have their own private attorneys they can hire. So what I love about this Legal Shield product is it levels the playing field. It gives all of us access to the legal system. And I want you to pretend for just a minute that you're an attorney, that you're my attorney, and I'm going to come to you and say, hey, Deshare, I want to give you a list of services I want you to provide for me and my family, but I don't want you to charge your normal, let's just say you're a new attorney, $100 an hour attorney. So that way you can add it up easy. So instead of charging me your regular hourly rate of $100 an hour, I want you to charge me a flat monthly fee. Okay? So here's the 5 things I'd like you to provide. First, give me telephone access to your law firm for unlimited number of personal questions. So if I have a legal question about buying a house or buying a car or any of those things that we just went over, I want to be able to pick up the phone and call you And don't get your clock running. I don't want you to charge me by the hour. Just include that in my flat monthly fee. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So add that in there. I need you to not just consult with me and give me advice, but I want you to write letters for me. Sometimes I know if you write a letter to someone that maybe owes me money or something, that's going to give a lot more muscle than if I wrote them a letter. So I want you to write letters, but I don't want you to put a cap or anything, just unlimited letters and unlimited phone calls. Sometimes I don't have time for a letter. I need you to pick up the phone and make a phone call for me. So when I go somewhere and say, well, you're going to hear from my attorney, you're going to make that call for me. Review my contracts and documents. So before I want to be like the rich. And before I sign anything, I want to say, well, let me have my attorney look it over, and I want him to send that contract to you. And again, don't charge me by the hour for that. Just charge me that flat monthly fee. Are you kind of adding it up in your head?
Yes, I'm keeping up with it.
Prepare an annual prepare my last will and testament and update it every year at no addition. Don't charge me for that part of the fee, and be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays and weekends. I want you fully available for an emergency. So if I'm being arrested, detained, or questioned, or served with a warrant, and it's Friday night, I want to be able to call you. I don't want to wait till Monday morning till your office opens. So 24-hour access, and I'll just use that in an emergency situation. So do you have an idea how much would you have to charge me for all these services on a flat monthly fee?
$500.
$500, okay. Do you think most people in America could afford an extra $500 a month to buy a plan like this? No, because that's like a car payment or a house payment for some. So, and that's just these 5 things. You're saying a flat monthly fee of about $500. Some people say $1,000. When we ask attorneys, they say $1,000 to $3,000.
Right.
They understand I guess they price their time a little more. But it would be not affordable for most people. If I could show you how to get all of these services for less than $1 a day, would you want to take advantage of it?
Absolutely.
Good. That's what I'm going to show you. That's exactly what a Legal Shield membership provides, and much, much more. Legal Shield gives you the ability to talk to an attorney on any legal matter without worrying about the high hourly cost. Let me just break down the benefit for you. Unlimited telephone consultation, so you can call them and talk to them about any legal question you have, even pre-existing legal situations. They'll write letters and make phone calls on your behalf. So they, again, not just consultation, but they'll write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf. They'll review your contracts and documents before you sign. They give you access to legal forms online. They prepare your last will and testament. So that's one of the first things you could do is get your will done so that you protect the assets that you have. They'll also prepare a health care power of attorney, a living will. That's the life support will. It includes your family members. They provide assistance with moving violations anywhere in the U.S. So if you get a speeding ticket, you just go to the app, which both the ID Shield and the Legal Shield has an app. Here's the Legal Shield app. And it pulls up, I love it because it has my member number. I don't have to keep remembering that. You can call your law firm, just push that button and hit that call, and that's going to dial my law firm in my state. So literally it's one phone call away or one touch away. Here's emergency access for 24-hour day access. I can call that number, and it'll dial a special number and get me access to an attorney 24 hours a day. Speeding tickets. If you get a speeding ticket, use that little app. Just take a picture of the ticket. It uploads it to your law firm. They hire an attorney to go to court to help keep that ticket off your driving record. So that's great for people that have teenage drivers or a spouse that drives like a teenager. And it also provides any criminal charges, like as long as drugs or alcohol are not involved. But if you get charged criminally in an accident, let's say someone's killed and you ran a red light or ran a stop sign, that would cover 100% of your entire legal defense there. There's a little more lawsuit coverage, so if you're ever sued, it provides services there. IRS audits are covered. Residential loan preparation, so if you're going to buy a house or something, they'll prepare your loan. Uncontested name change, uncontested separation or divorce representation. Again, as I mentioned, 24-hour day access through the free app. And it's got to be an emergency to use that. Like, if you're just legally lonely, you can't call them. But if you're in an emergency situation, boom, hit the red button and you've got full access. And a 25% discount on anything not fully covered, like a DUI, would be covered at a 25% discount, not fully paid under the benefit. But it covers a lot of stuff. And your membership includes legal access for you and your spouse and your qualified dependent, so your daughter would be covered as well. Legal Shield gives you access to one of the largest law firm networks in the world. So they pay their law firm over $100 million a year, all the law firms all over the country, and that's the network that you have access to for. Let me talk about the cost. Imagine having a world-class identity theft protection and access to the largest attorney network in the world for less than the cost of a bottle of water a day.
Wonderful.
We used to say cup of coffee, but then Starbucks came out with $6 cups of coffee, and we don't want people to think of $6. Here's the cost. Most of the families I'm presenting it to, they're taking advantage of both the Legal Shield and ID Shield plan, and you can get both those plans for $39.90 a month. So $39.90 covers you and your family members, and that bundles both of them together. You can get them separate, $19.95 each, but that's the family plan, and most popular is the combo. Would you like to take advantage of the combination membership?
Sure.
Okay. Let me. We have 3 payment options. We can do a debit or credit card draft, a checking account, or a savings account draft. Which would you prefer?
Let's do debit.
Debit card? Okay. That's what most people do. Let me just get my... And again, I'm new at this, so give me a minute. What email... This is the application. What email address would you like your membership information sent to?
ddharley@yahoo.
All right, well, let me give you a couple brochures. This is how to use your Legal Shield membership, and I've put on the back here the phone number to the law firm. Now, you'll get an email as well with your contact information to your law firm, but if you need it in the meantime, there's the law firm number and there's our customer service number. And I also wanted to give you just some written material so you can kind of look at the plan a little more. This is the ID Shield, kind of talks about the benefits, and this is the Legal Shield plan. So... those are for you. And I've got one other thing I'd need your help with. Do you mind helping me for just a minute?
Sure.
We're in the business of people helping people. And I just wanted to get a few referrals from you of friends and family or people that you know that also might be interested in one of these plans.
Okay.
So I've got this here. Who do you know that, and I just need their first names for now. Who do you know that know with teenage drivers? Just
Shelley.
their first name. Yeah, Shelley. Okay. Anyone else?
Stephanie.
Okay. And who do you know that is self-employed? Do you know anyone that owns their own business?
Jim.
Okay. Anyone else come to mind?
Not right offhand on that.
All right. Who do you know that has recently been married?
Nancy.
Nancy. Okay. And who do you know that has recently been divorced? Anyone?
Joe.
Joe? Okay. The reason these are important is they probably want to update their will, especially the divorce ones. Who do you know who does online transactions?
Everyone.
Everyone. So give me a few that you know uses a lot of Amazon.com or online, because they can very likely become a victim of identity theft. You're already covered, but they're out there doing those transactions and they can just fall victim to identity theft. Who do you know that does a lot of online transactions?
Debbie.
Debbie.
And Jennifer.
Okay. And one last question. Who do you know that has a legal issue right now? You know anyone in legal issues?
Lee.
Lee? Okay. Anyone else come to mind? Anyone else of that list that might help?
Not right offhand.
You know anyone that's been a victim of identity theft in the past?
Not right offhand,
Okay.
but I'm sure there has been someone.
Okay. Well, if you've got your phone, do you have their phone numbers?
Yes.
Do you mind if I use your name when I contact them? I'll just mention we met and you've got the plan yourself, and then I'll be able to tell them that, and and talk to them about the benefit and see if they're interested. And if you can grab your phone, I'll get their phone numbers. And again, I appreciate you taking some time today and meeting with me.
All right, that's great. Not a problem.